Class. Today, what we're going to be looking at is the last problem in this chapter in your B problems anyway. We're going to look at 17B. I'm sharing my Excel spreadsheet with you that I've made up. And what they're showing us here is a listing of all of our employees, the salaries, and some of these are annual salaries and some of them are monthly salaries. They're showing you their hours worked. Notice all of them worked 40 hours with the exception of this last person. He had some overtime. These employees earned a bonus, and all of this information was given to you. They also gave to you the fact that this information was for 50 pay periods. And so what they wanted you to do is to calculate the regular weekly earnings. And to do that, what we would do is we would need to take the annual salary of the employee and divide it by 52. And that's how we come up with 1920 as the regular earnings for one. Also, he didn't have any overtime hours. So his total earnings for this period of time would be the bonus plus the regular earnings. So his earnings are $46,980. Maybe that was a Christmas bonus that they were given. The cumulative earnings as of the last pay period, they had already figured those for you. So what they did is they took the regular earnings and they multiplied it by 49 pay periods, and that's how they got these figures here. But this was given to you in the problem. What they want you to determine is the OASDI earnings this year. This is the earnings amount that they want you to calculate first. Now, if the annual salary was $99,840, if you were to add the bonus that you got with that annual salary, it's going to go above the ceiling for OASDI earnings. Remember, the ceiling for OASDI earnings is $137,300. You don't pay any OASDI taxes above this amount. So that's why they calculated the cumulative earnings as of the last pay period for you, so that you would know that if you added $94,080 plus the earnings for this period, which was $46,920, that's going to take you above the ceiling of $137,700. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to determine the amount of those earnings that is taxable for OASDI. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to take the ceiling, which is $137,700, and you're going to subtract from it the cumulative earnings to date, which was $94,080. If you subtract $94,080 from $137,700, it will give you the remaining amount that is taxable. So it's true that you got paid, or this employee got paid $46,920, but not all of this is subject to OASDI, because when you paid him all of it, he went over the base or the ceiling at $137,700. So you're only going to tax your employees on the amount of earnings up to $137,700 and not above that. So we took the ceiling and we subtracted the cumulative earnings as of the last pay period, which was $94,080 from that. That gives you the taxable amount for OASDI. We would multiply the OASDI taxable earnings by 6.2% to give us the OASDI tax. Now notice the HI earnings are exactly the amount of the total earnings that were paid to this employee. And that's because there's no ceiling for HI tax. There's only a ceiling on the OASDI tax. So the entire amount of earnings was taxable for this employee at the tax rate of 1.45%. So 46,920 times 1.45% will give you $680.34. For the employee Park, his annual salary was $96,200. If you add the bonus to that he would have gotten, or actually you got to figure up your regular earnings first. So take the 96,200 and divide it by 52 weeks in a year, and that will give you this earnings amount of $1,850. So 96,200 divided by 52 is going to give you $1,850 as the regular earnings. The total earnings for this pay period on the 50th pay period would be the $1,850 salary plus the bonus of $25,000. So the total amount of earnings that he had for this period of time is $26,850. It's important to note the cumulative earnings as of the last paycheck. That would have been $1,850 times 49 paychecks. That's how they got this amount, but they actually gave it to you. And if you take the amount of cumulative earnings for your period of time and you add the bonus of $25,000 to that, this time you do not go over the base. So that's why the total amount of the earnings is going to be taxable for OASDI. If you add your cumulative earnings and the earnings for this pay period together, it does not go over the base. So all of this is taxable for OASDI. Take the amount that's taxable for OASDI, multiply it by 6.2%, and that will give you the OASDI tax. The HI has no ceiling on it, so you don't have to worry about it. You just pick up the total earnings for this pay period and you are taxed at 1.45%. So that employee contributed HI taxes of $389.33. For James, he's employed by the month. So what you have to do is convert his monthly salary to a weekly salary. And to do that, we have to annualize his earnings first. So we're going to take $72.80 that he's paid per month, multiply it by 12 months in a year, and then divide that 12 months in a year by 52 weeks. So the salary times 12 is the annual salary divided by 52 weeks. Your weekly salary is $1,680. The total earnings for this pay period is the weekly salary plus the bonus of $20,000 that they were given. A total amount at $21,680. The cumulative earnings to date was 1680 times 49. That's how they got this amount. It was given to you. And when you add this and this together, you don't go over the OASDI base. So all of the earnings are taxable for OASDI. Multiply the OASDI taxable earnings times 6.2%, and that will give you the amount of OASDI taxes. Your HI taxable earnings are 21,680, the same as your total earnings. Multiply it by 1.45%, and that will give you $314.36. And then you basically do the same thing for the rest of these. So convert the monthly salary to an annual salary, then divide your annual salary by 52 weeks to get your regular earnings. Add your bonus to that to get the total earnings, and then the total earnings are going to be subject to the OASDI tax and the HI tax. So you do this one the same way. Then what they wanted you to do is just add up the total for the bonus, the total for the earnings for that pay period, and any overtime earnings. So let me go back for just a second to the MAC person. We would have to determine what his overtime earnings are because he worked 46 hours. To do that, I have to annualize my monthly salary, take 3,400, multiply it by 12 to get the annual salary, divide the annual salary by 52 to get your regular earnings. Then you would divide your regular earnings by 40 hours, and that would give you the regular rate. Multiply the regular rate times 1.5, and then multiply it by 6 to get your overtime earnings. So the regular rate was $19.62, and I believe that is rounded. And then you're going to multiply that by 1.5, because if it's overtime, they're paid 1.5 times the rate. And then you're going to multiply that again by 6 hours to get your overtime amount of $176.58. So the total earnings for this employee was the regular earnings plus the bonus plus the overtime earnings that he made. All those all total would be subject to the OASDI tax of 6.2% and your HI tax of 6.2%. Then you're going to combine all of these together to find your total amount for your total earnings, the total amount for your overtime earnings, the total amount for your regular earnings, and the total amount of your bonus. Then over here, we're going to add up our OASDI earnings, our HI earnings, and our OASDI tax and our HI tax. We just totaled all of those. In the next part of this, they ask you to determine the employer's share of the FICA taxes for the week ended December 13th, 2021. So what we have to do to pick up the total earnings that will be subject to OASDI taxes. The total earnings that were subject to OASDI taxes are $117,326.20. I'm going to multiply that by the OASDI rate of 6.2%, and that will give me the employer's share of taxes, which just happens to be the same amount as the employees. For the HI taxes, you're going to take the HI salaries total total earnings. HI earnings this period, total amount was 120,626.20. We're going to multiply that by 1.45%, and the HI tax is 1749.08 for the employer. So you'll remember in this chapter we've calculated also the employer's share of FICA, so that we can report that on Form 941 and report it depending on whether they're monthly or semi-weekly. And so that's all I'm going to talk to you about today. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.